Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. What do you think about everything, all the controversy, I guess, surrounding you? How do you feel about it?
Me? Oh, I thought we were talking about the topic of the stream, which was Hector David Jr.'s his criminal history. But if we want to talk about something else, that's okay. What do
Let
you mean?
let's get into Hector David Jr. first then.
Right.
What do you think about his two known cases of battery? His two known battery charges?
I mean, I don't want to get too involved in his wife's or his girlfriend's or whoever their personal relationship because I don't know what's going on there. So I'm speaking solely from what I'm seeing today. Love does cause people to make decisions. I don't know their personal relationships, so I can't really comment. But in general, love does play a role in certain aspects. And also the daughter, they want a certain life for her. So the wife might be thinking, I know she might be, this is all speculation. I don't know anything about their personal relationship, but I'm speculating that she's thinking, if I don't want my daughter to grow up in a fractured household. Now, we could judge all we want, but that's their personal relationship. Now, this sets the wife has to know that by not holding him accountable, Hector is more prone to repeat his behavior, as we've seen with the pushing of the old guy. He thinks, oh, I can get away with it. I could do bad things and find a way to get away with it, as his co-star or his former co-star said in a video. And that's the risk you take when you don't hold people accountable. And we're seeing the consequences of that being played out today. And it's just the reality of it when people are so entitled and have such a big ego. When you don't hold them accountable when you can, they're prone to repeat the same behavior. So, but people judging the wife, it's really hard to, I mean, you can call her a coward, whatever, but we don't know what's going on in their personal relationship. But she does have to know that because he's a public figure, her battery case is public, and people that are judging Hector negatively, they're going to point to the wife and said, you were a coward for not holding him accountable. And she had to have known that, and she has to suffer whatever humiliation, whatever that comes from that. So
okay. What are your thoughts on Font saying he's not surprised by all this coming from Hector? Not even surprised by the old man, not surprised by the DV, said, it's only a matter of time. Do you think Power Rangers should hold other Power Rangers accountable publicly?
They should, but they don't, because it's all about money. And I disagree with Zachary Taylor McGinnis a lot, to the point where I'm boycotting his clients. But Zach makes a point about cast members telling the truth about other people, and they don't do that. And they're worried about the bottom line at the end of the day. And that's their right to do that. But for him to say, oh, I knew all along, I mean, what does he know? Does he know that he has a violent past? I mean, what does he know exactly? I mean, I think people do deserve to know that. If Jason witnessed Hector being violent in private,
okay,
I think people deserve to know that. But we don't. But that's just speculation. I don't know exactly what he knows. But if there was some like violence, or he said something despicable, like what Zach Taylor McGinnis said, I mean, people should know that, and because that really affects people's spending behaviors at conventions. So in terms of cons, I think Power Rangers should speak up about other people's behavior.
All right. I don't think they ever will, though. I mean, that's just
No.
I was looking at the timeline of like everything that happened. He would sometimes go to jail and then be on a show doing an interview. So either people don't know or people don't care. Now, what are your thoughts on this truck that he's driving around in not being his, and potentially it has been or is in the process of being reported stolen? This is a friend's truck, or so they thought they were a friend of his, that he's living in their truck on the run from the law.
Oh, wow. That's very, I mean, using a stolen truck, that shouldn't be the focus. It should be on what he did to that gentleman who he pushed to the ground. That should be the focus. But because stealing the car, that's not the biggest issue.
Well, legally
that
it
people
is, because that's grand
Well,
theft
yeah,
auto.
because he's on the run, but like if that was that should not be the focus. The focus should be on the gentleman, how he's doing, his well-being. But yeah, in terms of him being on the run, that's a big problem. And whoever's lending him that car, I don't know, are there certain laws, like is the person lending him the car or help him steal it or whatever it is would he be considered an accomplice, right?
I
don't
don't
know.
know about accomplice, but grand theft auto is a felony
Right.
in Idaho.
Okay.
So you can be fined up to $10,000.
Okay.
Imprisonment of not less than 1 year. So right then and there, since he has this stolen truck, if he's caught in it, and I believe they reported it as stolen and him having it,
Okay.
he's looking at a year in jail as opposed to the 6 months.
Okay, so and then on top of the assault, yeah, it's just piling up on him. It's not a good look. He should turn himself in, but he won't.
He probably won't. He'll probably still run for a little bit longer. Now that we got all the Hector David Jr. stuff out the way, you have a couple people. Janara says she wants to see you in the Janara, are you still here? If you still here, did you see what she said about you, Brent?
No, I did not. What?
She doesn't.
Is she the one that I've seen her in the comments a lot? Is that her, right? She's constantly commenting.
Yeah, about probably David Yost, and she came up and she said she used to be Team Brent, but she's not Team Brent anymore.
Okay, so what? I mean, like, what? Why is that? Okay, so why is that such a big deal?
I guess it's not. What do you say to the people who used to support you that no longer do, other than so what?
They don't support me. Why? Because of what I said about JDF, or what? Why did they explain why they don't support me? I mean, what's going on? Why is it? Did they explain why?
I guess they might be soft, Brent, because they never elaborate. Now that I think about it, they just say they don't like you. Maybe it's personal. Do you think you could rub people the wrong way?
I'm not really concerned about rubbing people the wrong way. I know, Henry, you're trying to run a channel, and I know you have to do things a certain way to keep your numbers up. You're a content creator. And some of the stuff like people come up, they bring up stuff that wasn't even the topic of the stream. If I were to do that, people are on the chat saying, Brent's bringing this up again. He can't get over it. I've done that a couple times because you gave me permission to. And then all of a sudden, people can do that with me and there's no issue. And I'm okay with it because the issue that they're bringing up, the David Yo situation, which was completely out of the blue, no pun intended, it's an important topic, but it was just brought up on me, and I have the patience, the quote unquote resilience to put up with some of this crazy, like this idea that mentioning someone's name or buying an autograph, asking for quotes, asking to record the entire session, not just the sessions that David or the parts that David deems appropriate, because I did ask him if I could record the entire session, whether I make one continuous videos and make edits later, or I make 2 separate videos at the time of the recording. I'm entitled, and when I asked him, he agreed to it, to record the entire session. So whether I make 4 separate videos where I press the stop button and re-record it during that same session, I'm entitled to that. And for people to say, like April says, like the question is whether you got what you paid for or not. Whether the video that you got that David asked you to delete was something that you didn't pay for. No, I paid for it to record the entire session. So people hate it. If they hate me on that, I don't know why they're hating. But if that's what they're hating me for, that I quote unquote Fairy Todd saying that they're catering to me. When I ask for a service, when I ask for quotes, I pay for a video recording. They could tell me no, and then I won't pay them for a video. I won't get as many autographs. But when David Yost agrees to something, yes, if you want to call it catering, yes, he has to cater by providing the service that he advertises and that I paid for. So you want to label it as catering to say that I'm somehow entitled. That's pretty ridiculous, but if you hate me for that, that's fine. And Henry has to he's trying to appeal to the people with that kind of behavior. So he's gonna make these faces to pretend. Like that to cater to his audience. He's trying to grow his channel. I understand it, but if Henry were to bring that up in a university or a business meeting, mentioning someone's name, he'd be laughed out of the building just by mentioning someone's name. And he knows, this, Henry.
I don't know.
You know this, Henry. Come on now. Come on. See, you won't address it, but see, and I don't know. That's the only reason why I think people know they're Team Brent. I'm just speculating. They don't elaborate. So I'm just addressing why I'm not Team Brent, and I don't really care. But the question got brought up, so I'm just addressing it. So yeah,
okay.
that's.
What do you say to people say, hey, you only use April as an example. You don't use people like Drew or Melissa or Francis?
Because April is a moderator, and I could use plenty, like simply Melissa. She's comfortable being a keyboard warrior, and that's totally okay. And criticizing me and not showing her face, and April had the guts to put her face on camera. Now, and that takes some type of courage. But she's a keyboard warrior. Simply Melissa's a keyboard warrior, and she has every right to be that way. So that's why I don't really address her, because she can type away all she wants. That's her right. But if people want me to address that, I mean, it'd get kind of ridiculous at some point. I mean, so. And then Drew Danger, he comes up on camera a lot, which should get some credit for, and we do interact, but I call him out on when we talk. So I don't know what's the issue. If people are trying to suggest somehow that I'm against April because of some other reason, how about they tell me what that reason is, and I will address it. But they're not going to say, they're suggesting some sort of alternative reason, and they should just tell me what it is, and I'll explain to them. It's no big deal.
Okay, keyboard war. Who else would you consider the keyboard warriors?
Yeah, boy.
I mean, in general, a keyboard warrior is someone who types a negatively a bit game, but when you call them up to say their thing on camera, they don't come up, and they don't want. When I'm ready to address them, they don't come up and address their thing, and that's totally okay. But I feel that you should cam up. But if you don't, that's totally okay as well. I mean, you're totally entitled to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to view that a certain way, especially that coward who hit his voice too. I mean, you might as well you're better off being a keyboard warrior. I'm sorry. So.
You would not let it go about the range.
No. That's pretty. What he was cowardly, and people are going to say he runs a small business. I understand that, but
okay.
I feel like if you're going to criticize someone that way to the point you're trying to question my credibility, I feel you should cam up and say it.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. But you brought him up for content, Henry. I know, so I have to. I understand that. So.
Well, he did have a compelling story, which did bear fruit. But does Brent know that she mutes bullying comments made about you? Do you know that April mutes bullying comments made about you?
Oh, I'm sure she does, and that's much appreciated. But I don't know. I mean, that doesn't mean I can't have disagreements with her. I mean, right? I mean. And I'm not targeting her specifically. It's not that I'm not like that. Whenever I disagree, Francis, Drew Danger, Angel Pest, Fairy Todd. I mean, it's not specific to a religion or a race or a sex or any of that. It's just it's not nothing personal either. And I don't know why it's such a big deal in the chat. I don't know why people make such a big deal about that. But
okay. All right. Well, you going to PMC. Who are you looking forward to meeting at PMC?
Who am I looking for? There's a lot of guests. Barbara Goodson. I'm looking forward to seeing her because I flew out to Columbus to see her, and she was rep by Zach Taylor McGinnis, and I was like,
ain't she still rep by Zach Taylor McGinnis?
No. I told her, you know what Zach did, right? She's like, yep. And it was horrible. And I'm like, I'm not buying I'm sorry, Barbara, but I'm not buying anything from you. And I hope you understand. And she was great about it. Because she knows she has a personal relationship with Jason David Frank. And she understands how hurtful what Zachary did. And Zachary went up, approached her, and it's like, Barbara, I'm so sorry. And then she was like, Zach, what you did was, basically told me what he did was wrong. And she was like, I'm going to wait out my contract until I book independently. And I said, that's good. That's great, Barbara. So when you're no longer booked with Zach, or you're not rep by Zach, then I will buy from you. And she's like, what's your name? And I told her Brent, and she's like, we'll keep in touch. I'm like, okay. I look forward to seeing you.
Has she kept in touch?
No, and like not like like phone convert, but like at a convention. She said she's planning to go to a couple, maybe PMC and New York Comic Con. So she's confirmed for PMC now. I don't know about New York Comic Con, but yeah, I'm gonna see her at Paramorphicon, and she's not rep by Zach because Scott stopped talking to Zach. So they're not. Nobody's booked by Zach, so I think it'll be a good time.
Francis says she is still rep by Zach. They have all told Zach not to post them. She is confirmed for a booth at New York Comic Con.
Okay, for New York Comic Con, I don't see Barbara on the website. I'm gonna ask if anybody's rep by Zachary Taylor McGinnis. I'm gonna ask the staff and Scott himself. And if anybody's rep by Zachary Taylor McGinnis, and I will find out at the booth if they're rep by Zachary Taylor McGinnis, and I'm not afraid to walk away.
Okay, all right.
If I find out that they're booked by Zachary Taylor, if Zach booked their gig.
All right, let's bring up Rican Ranger. He has something that he wants to say. Let's keep it above board. Rican.
Right, I didn't think that was going to happen. You guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi.
What up, Brent? How you doing, bro?
Say do it again, please.
Good.
Off the weed.
All right, so what's the deal with this guy? I'm finally on screen with you. I've been trying to talk to you because when I came on the channel, I thought it was entertaining. I like you for the same reasons that Henry likes you, right? I understand the whole part of it, right? With the channel and the content. What do you really think the problem is? Like, I don't know if they want you to admit what rubs them the wrong way or us to figure it out. I want to hear from you because I've said numerous times what my problem is with your behavior sometimes. So I don't think you're a bad dude. I enjoy some of the content. Like I said, I've called you annoying before. I've said my piece. I've teased you with a wedgie. I've even made you armor in the cord playing around. Like, I had fun with it. So I'm not one of these trolls. You know what I'm saying? So why do you think they consider you that? What do you think it is? Like, I want to know before I go in. You know what I'm saying?
What do I think it is? I mean, I'm going to speculate.
It's your personality yourself, like, that rubs people like sandpaper, bro. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
Okay. I'm not really well. I'm pretty sure it's from basically maybe a couple months in. The content was great with Henry's channel, but I think the issue is, I mean, look at the background. Who's in the background? It's the Green Ranger, the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, not Hector David, the actual Mighty Jason David Frank. And people, they don't like the what I say about him. So that also, I do understand a difference of opinion could piss people off. I do understand that.
You know, that's the goal, right? You know, everybody on this channel pretty much came together for JDF. So I'm so glad that you admit that and you see it. So when we say, Brent, you know what time it is, you do know. You just have to get through to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely one. What else you got? Keep going.
I think it's because you stand on business. You say the quiet part out loud, right, Brent?
Right. And let me just be very clear. I'm being nice here because most people. I'm just letting you know, Rican Ranger. I'm just letting you know right now. They would not be. Let me just put it this way. Entertaining this kind of questioning, because it's kind of like, what, like, someone has a difference of opinion. Why are you putting me or anyone in this position for that matter? But in terms of talking about the issue, like in terms of why I come on here, I'll entertain what you're discussing, but I'm just letting you know, Rican, that what you're asking me, most people would be less inclined to entertain what you're discussing. And let's just put it that way. So I will answer your questions, Rican, but for you
No,
to.
I already know where you're going. Let me rebut that. And I salute that for you being a cool sport. That's what you're saying. You're being a cool sport about it. And I understand that.
Right.
But what I'm trying to make you understand is I'm telling you from a place of experience. I just got into an argument with the court the other day. I do it too. I put my foot in my mouth. I had no problem saying, I'm sorry if I get misinterpreted, even if I'm not wrong. I have to learn this sometimes too.
So
now
what?
that I'm content creating and doing my thing. So I've always had a type of respect for you, Brent. I just think you make stupid mistakes. I don't think you're a bad dude. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? You do get a lot of hate for other reasons, and I think you were starting to go why. You know what I mean? Know why. So just have to watch how you say things, watch how you do things. The Yosty thing was a flag for me when I saw how you went in the comments. I thought that was a little crazy, bro. I think you should have got with the Resilient Army and maybe plan that attack a little bit better with Henry.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'll say about that. And then when you called everybody soft, it was like Drew kind of handled that situation with you. So I want to know how you felt about what Drew said too, because Drew wasn't. I'm being nice because I feel like you get beat up enough. You get bullied enough because of your opinion, and I respected your opinion because I'm the same way, regardless. That we're two different type of people. The fact that you sit there, you take it on the chin, you dish it, I respect it.
Okay.
So I don't think you should be thrown out. I don't mind if you're on the thumbnails. It doesn't bother me. I'm on a hater. You do get a lot of attention. So it does grow the channel, but it does affect a lot of people.
Okay.
Whether they like you, love you or not, how you say things and how you do things causes a ripple effect. It causes a butterfly effect through the fans, through whatever. So you showing a little bit of more consideration that way for us, because we got to deal with your ass anyway.
Okay.
Just be a little more appreciated. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I have no hatred, no ill malice. No, nothing for nobody on the channel. That's what I like about Henry's. He's such a truth monger that if you can't stand on business in Henry's house, then there's something fucked up about you. There's something going on without you. So that's the only thing I stand for. We don't always have to agree, but we should be able to get along. This is like a jury of our peers. Like with all the court documents and the way this channel is structured, I think it strikes fear in the morphing grid.
Okay.
And there's a huge crack going right through the damn middle. So I'm on the side of equal opposing energy with Henry's channel. Let's create some new stuff, Brent. Let's talk about some movie scripts. Let's talk about Michael Copon just doing a video with Scott Atkins, who I'm trying to get for Ninja, for Rise of the Ninjetti.
Okay.
He's already with a Power Ranger on set. So there's also positivity and things we could talk about and do for the fan base, the franchise, and get them excited. Especially people who have money, who don't have money. We need the noise. They're saying it's dead. Let's get the zombie rangers going.
Okay.
If it looks like Thriller out here, they might throw some money. Who knows? I'm kind of a visionary. I don't want to watch it die, Brent. So as you're creating content with the boy Henry, right? let's try to keep it vast and more considerate, because we could just
simply Melissa.
No, I'm just playing.
She's comfortable being a keyboard warrior.
We could just fuck you up. You should do your homework. Watch Chappelle Show. That's kind of real life. If you want to laugh about life, shout the Chappelle Show. But that's all I wanted to say. And the fact that you shared camera, patience with Brent. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for the orange wombat power anytime you want, bro.
Okay. All right. Okay.
This is healing. This is growth, Brent. I'm so proud of you, bro. It's okay to be a jerk off. It's okay to be an asshole, bro. Just recognize, understand it, and that's it. Move forward.
Wait till y'all
I'm
see
speaking
this
to the
clip.
mirror as well. You know what I'm saying? This is about Power Rangers. Henry got here because of Power Rangers. Everyone's here for Power Rangers. We could just fuck you up. No, I'm just.
Oh my God, we don't want
I'm
that, man.
If I see you, Brent, I'm gonna salute you, dap you. I'm not gonna give you a wedgie. I'm just teasing.
Okay.
When I get up there on that level with you, I got no problem. Ninjetti formation. We just won't go around saying Henry's name. That's all.
Okay.
Keep it a little bit more, we'll see if Strife got an extra suit for you, bro.
All right. So what you guys think of that? Y'all didn't hear the sound bites, but there were some sound bites playing in the background. But it's good to see you guys come together and squash the wedgie beef and have
I know what it's like to be hated on. And have never hated Brent. I would tell you I can't stand that dude. Some people feel that way about you, but hey, you know what? There's no such thing as bad press sometimes for the internet. So That's what's happening with Henry's channel a little bit. So we're kind of united. We stand, divided we fall. Either way, I'd rather see us fight for the franchise than each other. So let's leave it at that.
All
You
right.
know?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Rican. Any last words, Brent? That was a positive interacting for Rican. We got Melissa, the keyboard warrior. Anything else?
Melissa's coming up she's coming up.
Melissa, did she say she was?
Oh,
coming
no.
up?
Of course she's not coming up. Of course not.
Oh,
Never mind.
oh my God. He just threw a
Look,
shot
Henry,
for no reason.
I'm not here I'm not saying that to create content or whatever. It's just the reality of when you interact on social media. That's just the reality of it. You're going to have people typing on their keyboard and they don't stand on business. They don't cam up. That's their right. And you are appealing to them by doing I know, Henry, you're a very good content creator. You're one of a kind. And I salute you for that. So it's that's her right. There's nothing, and she's not the only one. I'm not trying to single her out. Like I see in the chat, like random people saying, "Oh, I have something against women." I mean, that's just no. That's not the case. If you have an opinion that we disagree on, we're gonna discuss it, regardless of your race, ethnicity, sex, whatever.
Here's
And
the thing,
yeah.
The thing that threw me off is when you said, "Oh, she's going to cam up." I thought someone had wrote that in the chat. I didn't know you.
No.
Just
You mentioned. Oh, okay. I thought you mentioned Melissa.
Just triply trolling because when you said it, I started reading the chat. I'm like, wait, she said she was going to come up, and then you just like, oh no, she's not. She's a keyboard warrior. I was like, oh my goodness, Brent, you just trolled everybody. But you say you wasn't trolling or you was trolling.
No. I mean, you mentioned Melissa's name, and then I was like, "Oh, why are you mentioning? Is she want to come up?" Because Rican just left. And you mentioned her name. I thought, but that's fine. It's not only her, and that's okay. That's you interact with social media however you choose to do so, and I choose to do so because there were certain things said on your channel that went beyond the scope of mere entertainment.
Ooh.
And Henry, you know what I'm talking about.
What, people got personal?
No, Henry. We've discussed this many times, but it's kind of like it went beyond. This person he cammed up to address it, which surprised me. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's what we go on. I'm not here to create content. If you get more views because of what I say, I'm not really concerned either way. If views go down because of me or they go up, okay. So it's whatever. I'm not here I'm not calling Henry say, what should I say today to get more clicks? Should I say stay resilient and hang up? That was never planned. People think that was planned. That was never planned. So people thinking that this is the Drew or Henry and Brent show, it's never intended to be that way. It just happens that people want to hear what I have to say, even though I read some of the comments, the chat. It's like, maybe not, but they still want to hear me anyway. I mean, and that's fine. And I will continue to say what I have to say. I never said people were soft as individuals because I don't know any of you on a personal level. I'm talking about you criticizing people for mentioning your name at cons. And if you take issue with that, if that's somehow a big, huge problem, that's soft. I never said you're soft as a person. I don't know most of you as individuals.
Okay.
So Drew knows that. Henry, you know that too. You know that mentioning your name. You know that mentioning your name at cons, that's not, and getting security called on me, that's not okay behavior. But I know you're okay with that.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay with that. Okay, you're okay with me being banned for questioning Steve Cardenas about Galactic Production. You're okay with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know that you running the risk. You know the risk. They've already.
No. Of course, I know the risk, Henry. But you're okay with that behavior, even though I know the risk. You're okay with that?
Yeah, you're putting yourself. Yeah. You're putting yourself in that.
No,
position.
See, you're not answering the question, but that's okay.
Yeah, I am okay with it. Yeah, ban your ass. That would teach you a lesson. If they truly banned you from like PMC for a year or something, that would teach you a lesson. Then you will stop asking those questions.
Because you feel to ask those questions is wrong.
I wouldn't say it's wrong, but they don't like it. They don't like it when you ask those questions. So if it's a private business And private businesses can do whatever the hell they want. If they want to
Right. We never
people,
disagreed on that.
if they
But
want to ban people who ask about Zach Taylor McGinnis or ask uncomfortable questions, that's their right to do so.
but do you feel as someone who reports on the drama on a daily basis, do you feel that's okay behavior, even though we agree that they have the right to do that?
I probably wouldn't do it, but that's them. You know they're soft.
Okay.
You know they can't handle it. So if you go up to someone who is publicly said, "Hey, I'm soft. Don't ask me about the order. It's gonna get me in my feels. Don't ask me about Zach Taylor McGinnis. It's gonna make me uncomfortable." And
Right.
you do it, and then you got to just deal with whatever consequences.
Right. But that's never. We always agreed on that. But when I ask you as a content creator who reports from the drama and you're fact based, but you do have opinions.
Yeah, hell
Your
yeah.
opinion is that it's wrong, but they have the right to do it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So,
And
yeah, I mean,
speaking of you, the Ranger Stop interview that we did in the hotel room, I never showed it. I don't know if you remember. I alluded that we had it, but the stream ended up going over. So I have that Ranger Stop interview that we did.
I thought you showed it.
I don't think I did.
Yeah. I think Patrick Sky commented on it, saying that it looked like I need to go to the bathroom.
Damn, maybe I did show it. I don't think I
Yes, you did show it.
Oh, maybe I didn't.
Yeah, you showed it.
I'm gonna have to clip it.
Patrick Sky made a comment about it, like I need to go to the bathroom, or I was crisscross, and then I told him I need to go to the bathroom. That's what happened. Yeah, you showed that interview.
Okay,
on your stream.
Damn, y'all got me. I went through like years of photos, and I was like, damn, I never put this out. Moonlight says, honestly, I love that Brent is asking these questions. He's got the money and resources to get these Rangers. Next time, I just hope he doesn't name drop so he can get the info we all need.
Right.
Feel like you could be a little bit more tactful in getting this information out of these Power Rangers?
My opinion is that if I have to, I asked Steve very, very nicely, are you rep by Galactic Productions? That's not a mean question. That's a very legitimate business question because you're at a con to make money. This is not a personal question. And he took issue with it and I forgot to mention that the security at Rangers, it didn't happen in Atlanta. It happened in Philadelphia. The questioning about Zachary Taylor McGinnis to Steve Cardenas, because I never talked to Steve in Atlanta. And the reason that is because my mindset at the time was these security guards are doing the bidding of whatever the owners or the guests, what they want. And the reason why I mentioned it to Geek Culture 101 is because he mentioned that the officer was doing a phenomenal job. And that's why I mentioned that, it just occurred to me that people think it happened at Ranger Stop Atlanta. No, the question about Zachary Taylor McGinnis happened in another con, and the security is basically being asked to address me about something that they had no jurisdiction over. And I feel like a good security officer would get the information before confronting me. So the reason why when I talked to Geek Culture on his comment section, why I didn't mention that the incident with Zachary McGinnis asking Steve Cardenas was in Philadelphia, not Atlanta, was because it didn't really occur to me. I just thought of it as Christy and Karen using security, another Power Ranger actor or actress using their authority to basically have an ego trip. That was my mindset at the time. So
okay. Francis is of the opinion that they would no longer talk to you. They would no longer answer your questions. It would just be signatures and goodbye. What do you do if that ends up becoming your experience at cons going forward?
So that's called taking a stand. And I know Frances, she's trying to pick holes, and I understand what she does on your channel. And if they don't want to answer my questions, I don't have to give them my business. But I approach take the same approach with Barbara Goodson. We had a great conversation. I'm very happy to see her, and she's very happy to see me as well, because she understands, maybe perhaps unlike Steve, the offensive nature of what Zachary Taylor McGinnis did. This culture of corporate money, and we have to worship these celebrities to the point we have to give them the money no matter who they associate with, no matter who their agent is at the time, at that particular, no matter who represents them. We have to we should all ignore that and just worship that. That's not how I do things. What Zachary Taylor McGinnis did is absolutely disgraceful. And it doesn't matter whether I support JDF or whoever. I took a stand, and I'm taking a stand, and I go to these cons and I hear people saying the same thing. Like that lady with the SpongeBob SquarePants mural. I bet you if she found out about Tom Kenny being with Zach Taylor McGinnis again, she'd be devastated. Because we as fans, we're sick and tired of this culture in our society where money talks, and whatever morals you have, just sign my shit. That's the people. That's the mentality that people are trying to impose on us, on fans. And people can have that approach if they want, but some people like myself, the couple of people at LA Comic Con, people all across the country, we're going to take a stand and say that no, if Zach booked your gig, we are walking away. I don't care how far I traveled to see you. With Barbara Goodson, I traveled just to see her in Ohio, and I did not buy a single thing from her. And if Francis is going to say, oh, they might not talk to you anymore, then I'm not interested in doing business with them anyway. So that's my response to her. The feeling is mutual.
All right. Well,
so
thank you, Brent, for coming up, man, and addressing all that. Come up anytime.
Okay.
And we'll holla. All right.
Okay, sure.
All right, that was Brent, everybody. Oh my goodness, man, what a stream, guys. These are never planned, by the way. It's never like one. I didn't think Brent was going to come up, but y'all summoned him, and maybe he delivered all that good stuff.
Okay, so what?
I think that might be my new favorite one. It's so quick.
Okay, so what?
It's so quick. But anyway, I'm out of here. Peace.